Now I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers and stir the pot and get some flack for doing this video, but you know what? I don't give a damn. Hey y'all, happy Friday. I've been thinking about this Charlie Kirk thing and why it's been affecting me and a lot of people I know so much, even people that didn't even know the guy. Why it's really impacting a lot of people. We all, as individual human beings, have ideals that are strong opinions, strong beliefs, controversial opinions. Does that mean that if we offend somebody with them, that we deserve to die, to be hunted and murdered? I don't think so. And that goes for whether you're left, right, Christian, Muslim, gay, straight, whatever the case. We all have a right to share our beliefs. And I just honestly feel like Charlie Kirk wasn't killed because of the Second Amendment. I feel like he was killed sharing his First Amendment right, bringing the debate to the college campus. And it's just weighing really, really heavy on my heart and a lot of my viewers' hearts. A ton of my viewers have been emailing me personally, texting my phone number personally, asking me my thoughts. And I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do a long form video on my thoughts, my real true thoughts. I think these school shootings are just pure evil. I think the Minnesota assassinations of those lawmakers were vile and disgusting. I believe this Charlie Kirk thing is disgusting and vile, and nobody deserves it. And the stabbings, and, people will turn and say, the guns are the problem. And it's like, not quite. And I'm not here to argue that fact. Everybody has their opinion on the guns. However, the gun isn't violent. It's the person with the gun, the person with the knife. If somebody wants you dead, they'll find a way, right? But that can be debated another day. However, what is going on with the celebrating it? This has gone a little bit too far, and it's really getting kind of scary. The temperature in this country is just so hot. But where do you hear that from mainly? Mainly it's from social media or the mainstream media. And I took some time after my live stream tonight to really do some reflecting or just thinking out loud. And I wanted to share my thoughts in real time. No editing, no special effects, none of that. Just raw, guttural, from the heart. This is a woodworking channel. However, I'm also a human being, and I'm also an American citizen, and I'm also somebody who cares what happens in public spaces. I have an audience, and I know when it comes to my woodworking stuff that I get critical comments all the time on people's thoughts and opinions on my work, and some of them are hateful and just nasty. However, that's okay, because we're allowed to have our separate thoughts on things. So when I weigh and measure differences of opinions on certain things, say political or beliefs, and different opinions on woodworking, there's really no difference, because it's all a difference. It's a difference of opinion. You may love this jewelry box. You may not care about this jewelry box. You may not like this jewelry box, or you may just hate it. And you may want to tell me exactly how you feel. We all have a right to share how we feel about things. And I think what bothers me so much about the Charlie Kirk situation is that this man was brave enough to go into these college campuses and share his thoughts and opinions, no matter what you thought about it. But he gave the microphone to the people who disagreed with him first. And for somebody to be that far away and able to just snuff somebody's life out because of a difference of opinion, or because he thought what he was saying was hateful, instead of coming down to the microphone and putting up a fight verbally, ideally, giving his thoughts, his opinions, debating him, which is why Charlie would come to these campuses. I just think that we deserve better as Americans. Nobody deserves to be hunted down and assassinated, regardless of political affiliation or not. Charlie was kind enough to have me on his show last year, and that was a year in on my social media journey, and gave me the floor and pretty much let me say my piece. And he always stayed in touch with me from that day on forward. And he was such a soft person, such a gentle giant, if you will. And he didn't deserve to be assassinated in the way that he was. Nobody deserves that. I don't care who you are. But I think why it bothers so many people is because this man was a father, a husband, young, successful, but was actually going out there in the grassroots, on the ground, using his feet and his voice to bring ideas to the marketplace, to the youth, to the population, and literally would pull up a chair, give you a microphone, and say, talk to me. Prove me wrong. And instead of proving him wrong, this person decided that he wasn't brave enough to grab the microphone and debate. He would rather snuff out a precious life. And, you know, everybody's like, I don't know, you know, everybody's just like saying, well, these people on the left are celebrating this, and this guy was a right winger, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. The fact of the matter is, if you just stop for a second and think about it, really, really think about it, the people who are celebrating this are a very, very few, a fringe minority, but they're the loudest, because what they're saying in celebration of this is so absurd that people feel like they need to share it, and then the evolution of them sharing it makes it go viral because more and more people share it. So it seems like this is half of the country celebrating. Let me tell you, it's not. It's a very, very few people, sick people. You can't, it's confusing. I don't know. I really wish that we could find better solutions, talk to people more. But I just feel like a part of me is almost devastated. And although I knew Charlie and could call him a friend, I wasn't super close to Charlie, but the impact of this is just weighing so heavy on me, and I don't know why. And this may not be important to some of y'all, and some of y'all may be like, dude, whatever, you're crazy. And y'all all have your opinions, and you're welcome to leave them in the comments. I'll read the comments. I'm not here to respond to these comments. I'll read them, but where has our decency gone? We need to find that common goal, that common ideal again, to gather around and come together. Hug your mother, hug your father, hug your brother, hug your sister, hug your loved ones, and just tell them you love them. Go outside and sniff the grass, lick the dirt. Life's too short, and people are taking politics way too serious. And I wanted to give my thoughts on this because I've been asked so much about what my thoughts were, and there you go. But I think the reason why I do my live streams and I am so focused on building this woodworking community is because that's one thing that we can all gather around and come together and have fun with, no matter your race, color, creed, political alignment. It's woodworking. So I think if more Americans can come around one ideal, one thing, this nation can start to heal more. And believe it or not, I think 99.9% of Americans agree on more than they disagree on. It's just my opinion. But we as a majority need to be louder than that fringe minority, whether it's left or right minorities, that are rabid, radical, and just obnoxiously vile and evil. we as the majority need to realize that that's not the left or the right. That's just a few evil individuals who stand for nothing. But that's my thoughts on it. I know this isn't a woodworking video, but we got plenty of time for some woodworking tomorrow.